chapter by chapter, verse by verse, precept by precept. Please join us each weekday at 5 p.m. for Summons right here on KELP.
You are listening to KELP El Paso. Feed your mind, feed your soul at 1590 AM, 95.9 FM. Streaming worldwide at KELPradio.com.
915 Talk is a production of Desert Voice Media.
TALK.
The world is looking at El Paso.
What will we say to the world? From the KEL
Host.
Good afternoon, beautiful citizens of the borderland. This is 915 Talk. I'm your host, Andy Frecka. Today we are broadcasting yet again from the heart of the world's largest borderplex. We're here at the KELP studio in El Paso, and we have Kenny on the board. Kenny, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. I must confess that my vocabulary, I am unable to describe the wonder and joy of this educational journey that we've embarked upon as we learn to love our city, love our neighbors, and give God all the glory. And I was thinking about this. On this program, we like to talk about all the things we love about El Paso.
Right.
But what are some things that we could add to El Paso to improve it?
Add to El Paso.
So I'll start.
Okay, go ahead.
Palm trees. I'm not going to say like oak tree. I'm not going to go crazy, but palm trees lining I-10.
Ooh.
That Paso.
That would look nice.
Right. That'd look nice.
Yeah.
More parks.
Oh yeah.
What else would you say, Kenny, on the board?
Well, one of my biggest pet peeves anywhere is traffic. I hate traffic. Take away. So no, I'm sorry. Grass. I miss grass.
You miss grass.
You know when they say take off your shoes and go touch the earth, I don't literally want to touch the dust. I want to touch the grass.
You know what else El Paso could use more of?
What's that?
Educated drivers.
Oh yeah.
Right?
You know, some people they drive with big giant trucks so they don't have to worry about traffic.
Right. Yeah, and you know it's interesting. My kids have been, since we moved here, they often come home and comment on the other drivers in El Paso. Like what do you think? Do you think we have good drivers? What do you think, Kenny, on the board?
I know when I first got here about 14 years ago, they were a lot more polite, friendly drivers.
Oh.
You don't see that quite as much now. Now everybody's in a rush. So I've noticed in El Paso, you're either going 65 plus, even in residential, or you're going way slow.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I think if I were to run for political office here in the city, I would probably just run on the platform that if you're driving slow in the left lane, it's jail time. And I would probably win.
Yes, I think so.
But so it is fun on this program to learn about many different parts of our community, meet so many interesting and cool people. You know, we've had surgeons, politicians, engineers talking about how AI can be put into a prosthetic and predict when someone's about to stumble.
Yes.
Of course, many church leaders. We are Christian radio around here.
Absolutely, we are.
Yeah, but today we're going to be talking about driving school.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about the jungle.
Yeah, well, we're in the desert, but it's jungle driving school.
Okay.
They went a little bit different here. Not
One
desert driving. Yeah, I mean, everything around here is like high desert or, I don't know, Sun City. But they went. It is a jungle out there sometimes on I-10.
Right.
But we're going to be talking about jungle driving school.
Okay.
And we have the head honcho of the jungle driving school over on the west side of El Paso.
Nice.
They have a grand opening tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I think all the cool kids are going to go to the jungle driving school grand opening.
That's what we would hope.
Oh, he's also he's a friend of mine.
Okay.
One time he bought solar panels from me.
So that's why that joke was made earlier when he was talking about, is this a running prank or not?
Oh, no. That had to do a different part of my life.
Oh, okay.
He's also ex-military, U.S.
Okay.
Marine.
Thank you for your service.
Yes, 3 tours in Iraq, 2 in Afghanistan. And Kenny on the board, I feel like we're not doing enough, and this guy's doing it all. He's also he used to run a gym. We might talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
A lot to dive into. So without further ado, let's give a very warm Borderland welcome to the one, the only, Mr. Richie Hatch. Richie, welcome to 915 Talk.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I was thinking, like, how are we going to start this conversation? There's so much to talk about. And I think you told me once that when you're in the military, when you're in active duty, you're on tour, you did some interrogations. Maybe a little bit.
That's, well, we're just throwing it out there on radio. That is, in fact, one of the jobs that I did.
Yeah. So you questioned people.
I did.
Yeah.
I like to think of it as I tried to get information from people, and some of them were willing.
Right. Okay. So, no, that's part of service. And I think one of the main things for questioning someone and really getting information from them and having a good conversation is to build rapport. Right?
100%.
Okay. So I was like, I'm going to ask Richie what question I should ask him to build rapport.
Well, I mean, just if you want to dive a little bit into rapport, the one thing that people ignore is rapport is rapport. So you can have negative rapport and it'll still work.
Oh, so tell me about that.
I mean, so you can actually make somebody despise you and want to tell you things to leave them alone, right? Or something to that effect. It's not, everything doesn't have to be like,
like we're best buds now.
People. Yeah. Like, the really weird reports, like you're married, I'm married. You have kids, I have kids. You've been to the snow, I've been to the snow. Like
right.
nobody builds rapport like that anymore.
Right.
So.
So it's one way or the other. You have to like establish what the relationship is.
Rapport is rapport.
Okay. All right. So I want to develop positive rapport with you, like so badly.
I think we're well on the way.
Okay. Well, that's good. So I don't have any tortoises, but do you have any tortoises?
I do. We have 2 sulcata tortoises. They're the 3rd largest tortoise in the world, and I didn't know that when I bought them. Yeah. I mean, it's hilarious, but they live for at least 80 years, and now I need to make enough money to have a will to make my grandkids finish taking care of them. So,
all right. How big are they?
Right now, they can grow up to about 3 feet. Right now, the larger
3
ones,
feet tall?
No, 3 feet long.
Oh,
so it's about
okay.
about that long. Tall, they'd probably be 1.5 feet, maybe. Mm-hmm. So right now, the larger one's probably in the neighborhood of like 2.5 feet. So.
Okay, wow. And what's the weight on? Do you ever weigh them?
No, the male's certainly getting to the point where it's hard to lift him.
Okay.
So I would say he's probably in the neighborhood of 60 pounds at this point. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. And you said you have 2 or 3?
2.
2. Okay. Yeah. And what's the grocery bill on these fellows?
It's actually not bad. They eat grass. Like there's a lot of folks that think that tortoises should be eating things. You should not be, depending on what they are, should not be eating strawberries and things like that. That ruins their kidneys and gives them too much calcium. And stuff like that.
Not enough people are talking about how tortoises shouldn't be eating strawberries because that ruins their kidneys.
Correct. I really feel like that's what I was called to talk to you about tonight. So we should just forgo the rest of it, and we can talk about dietary needs of sulcata tortoises.
That's hilarious. So they're 80 years old. They need to go in your will. You have like a whole budget line item for your family on these tortoises.
Everything that we do. We've got 3 boys, two big dogs, 100 pounds apiece, and then those tortoises. I make horrible decisions, and apparently I like to feed a whole army.
Okay. All right. So that yeah. Well, I hope that the boys are eating better than the dogs or the tortoises.
They are.
Yeah.
for now.
Right. That's hilarious. But you're going to put the tortoises in your wills so that, like, kind of a requirement for the kids and the grandkids to take care of them.
Yeah, you want that $500 surety bond, buddy? Better
Yeah.
take care of this tortoise for the rest of your life.
Seems like a good trade.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. All right. So enough about building rapport. Let's talk driving school.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah. You've done other businesses in the past. I'm sure we'll talk more about those later on in the program. But what is it like about driving school? Because you and I had this conversation, like every time I pass a restaurant, I imagine myself starting a restaurant, which is a really bad idea, I'm sure. But it's kind of like, it's interesting, it's attractive. How could I make a place that people would want to come to? And I'm sure, like, in my mind, I would sell the food and these meals in a way where I'd make money. All these businesses that can be out there, coffee shops, that kind of thing. Were you looking at other businesses?
Yeah, so I actually went through a franchise consultant, and I gave her 5 criteria, and she came back with 5 businesses. And if I'm being 100% honest, I couldn't have rolled my eyes any harder at all of them.
Oh, interesting.
And then I really started diving into the criteria that I gave her, and the businesses that she brought back were actually meeting that criteria. And so then we went through the process. Some of them got eliminated immediately, and then kind of went down the process with 2 of them all the way to the end. And one of them was Jungle Driving School. And I was telling the team earlier that one of the things that really sold me on it is we like to equate different kinds of drivers to different animals, so that way it sticks in your mind.
Oh,
right?
interesting.
So a crocodile are people that pull out of side streets or parking lots and without looking, and they'll drag you to your death if you're not paying attention.
Oh.
And so I was sitting on the phone, and my 5-year-old, I said something about crocodiles, and he looks at me, he's like, "Them's the one that'll drag you to the death if you're not paying attention." And I was like, what'd you say? And he said it again, and I was like, dude, if my 5-year-old can remember that, and I didn't teach him that, he just heard it in
one time
in conversations.
Yeah, Dad's on the phone talking Jungle Driving School business.
So if he
and
can
picked up on that.
if he can retain that, I can get 15-year-olds to do that.
Okay, right.
So,
all right. So, a franchise consultant. What were some of the criteria that you had?
So I'll just tell you, it was recession resistant. I didn't want to have to sell it. No pets, no old people, and whatever I did now should give me returns, much greater returns. I didn't want to build myself another job.
Right.
I want to build a business.
Okay. And do you remember what some of the other franchises were that made you roll your eyes?
Yeah. So a donut truck, a handyman service, a garage door installation and repair, Jungle Driving School, and then a commercial window washing.
Oh,
business.
wow. Okay. Yeah. So that's like so interesting because I think a lot of people, when they think franchise, they're thinking Whataburger or actually just hamburger shops. That's all they're thinking of.
Right. McDonald's, right?
Right,
It's gonna cost you $3 million to open.
Exactly. But there's so many other franchise opportunities out there. So Jungle Driving School is a franchise.
Yep.
Like 35 locations in El Paso. What are we talking?
In El Paso, there's just the one with hopes to take over, West Texas. But,
okay.
Jungle Driving School has, I think, a couple dozen franchises currently and expanding very rapidly.
So why would you want to be part of a franchise when it's a driving school?
So one of the neatest things that I wanted to do, why I took that criteria to the franchise consultant, her name's Claudia, was because I was tired of trying to having brilliant ideas in my own mind, and then trying to convince people to pay me for them.
Okay.
Right? So I was like, all right, this time we're gonna go with something that, and man, I'll tell you what, like compared to the other things that we've tried to do, like putting driving school in front of people and saying that you're gonna connect with the kids and make it fun and connect with the parents. And for people to just kind of light up and really respond to that is so much nicer than trying to convince people that you have something that they need, and then you have to teach them about the need that they have so you can fulfill it.
Right. Yeah, it's like real simple. Like you don't want to drive your kids around.
Right.
We'll do it for you.
Your 30-year-old, she's a passenger princess. I get it. It's time to get a license.
Oh man, I feel like that whole conversation has come up on this program so many times.
Really?
Like kids these days are not super excited about getting out and driving. I found it interesting when with my kids, like some of their friends were like, no, they don't have a driver's license. They're not driving. And it's a interesting trend to observe. And I think it's across the board, not just with driving, but driving is one of the ones, when we were kids on our 16th birthday, we were at the Bureau of Motor Vehicles or whatever it was, at least getting our temps. We want to get on the road, but it's a little bit
freedom. And all those types of things. And I think it's, if, I could throw in there why I think it is. I think we expect less from the kids today, and so they give less, right? I mean, like if you think about it, if a kid can sign up for the military when they're 18, like stop babying them. Like your 18-year-old can drive a car. Like now it's a very serious thing, and you have to respect that. Absolutely. But we need to actually start looking at our kids as competent adults, so that way they can become competent adults.
Yeah. Amen, Richie Hatch. And I've seen your cars. They look really cool. They have what's the word? They're wrapped.
Yeah, they are wrapped. Full wrapped.
And they, I mean, it looks like a car. If you weren't sure if you wanted to drive, you'd want to drive that car. It has a big. It's a Tiger.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a white Tiger and a black Panther right now.
A white Tiger and a black Panther. Mm-hmm. All right. And the car then is a Jaguar.
Yeah, actually, it looks suspiciously like a Toyota Camry, but it's definitely top tier.
That's hilarious. If you're just joining us with Richie Hatch, he's now opening Jungle Driving School here in El Paso, talking about that business, talking about, so far we've learned about the crocodile.
That's right.
The crocodile is the jungle animal that just sticks its head out of the side road and what's it do?
They pull out without looking, and they'll drag you to your death if you're not paying attention. So
okay, all right. So Jungle Driving School, like we know about crocodiles.
Absolutely,
we talk about crocodiles.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll have to find out what the other animals are. But if folks are interested in reaching out, maybe like. When my kids reached the age of 16, 17, I was so happy to pay whatever money the driving school was asking. There's enough stress with teenagers without adding being the really nervous dad sitting next to them, driving them around town. So I was just like, take my money, driving school. But if there's any folks out there looking for a driving school, how can they reach out to you?
They can give us a call at 915-900-4943 or look us up at jungledriving.com and search for the location.
Okay, so jungledriving.com, just look up El Paso. It'll come up, and it's, again, give the phone number.
915-900-4943.
Okay. And we do need to take a break. Before we go into the break, this is your daily reminder that 915 Talk is a production of Desert Voice Media, and it is listener supported. And a lot of people are calling into the station. The phone's ringing off the hook. They're wanting to know how to support us. Not really, but we're so happy, so grateful to everyone who does support us. But if you want to listen to this or any previous 915 Talk conversation, just go to the website. It's desertvoice.media, and you can find the podcast version of these conversations, the YouTube version, whatever the case may be. And then you'll also notice the giant green donate button. And we're so grateful to each and every one of you who click on that button and send any amount. It is a huge encouragement to us. Thank you to each and every one of you who listen, who share about this show with your friends. It is super fun to be a part of this journey as we learn to love our city, love our neighbors, and give God all the glory. We're going to go into a break. Do not touch that dial.
We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
915 Talk is listener supported and is a production of Desert Voice Media. That's right. It's people just like you who make this program possible. Together with Desert Voice, you can learn how to better serve our neighbors and pray for our community. To become a Desert Voice Media partner, you can visit desertvoice.media. That's right. That's the website, desertvoice.media. Take a look and join us today in reaching our borderland for Christ.
915.
Testify.
When I was 18, I was facing a felony charge of 5 to 20 years. Not only that, at the same time, I was diagnosed with a kidney disease called lupus nephritis. But if I tell you, but God changed my situation. It was in that moment when I was 18 where God had ended up canceling my record, sealing my record from everything I've ever done. And at the same time, a year later, he had healed me from the kidney disease. I'm here to tell you that God is a God of impossible, that God is a God of miracles. Amen. And if you put your trust in him and be faithful to him, he would impact your life in ways that you cannot imagine. My name is Joseph Heredia, and if God can do that for me, he can do that for you.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb
And by the word of their testimony.
DesertVoice.media.
We're back. You're listening to 915 Talk.
We are back, and you are listening to 915 Talk. I'm your host, Andy Frecka. Today we're with Richie Hatch. We're talking about driving school, and we're talking about kids these days and the jungle driving school here on the west side of El Paso. Richie, you talked about how we need to challenge young people into, taking on responsibility, really is what I heard you say. What are some of the ways to, help a 16-year-old have a little bit of confidence to get behind the wheel?
Well, I think, you start by and trusting them to get things done. I mean, you don't just hand them the keys to the car and be like, have
Sure.
fun out there. But at the same time, like empowering kids to actually make their own decisions and this is the time for them to take risks.
Yeah.
Right. Like a risk when you're 7 is broken finger or arm or something.
Right.
And sheltering them for so long, those risks compound and expand exponentially. Mm-hmm. So the first time you face adversity when you're 7, by the time you're 17 or 20 or whatever, you're used to understanding that adversity occurs. Mm-hmm. But if you've been sheltered all the way up until the very first time you walk out from your parents' house, like that first punch in the face or slap in the face or whatever, it's going to hurt way more than it should.
Right.
And daddy and mommy aren't there to help you anymore.
Right. Gotcha. And you do have like this, I'll call it fun, but also memorable part of the program of the animals. We talked about the crocodile. What are some of the other animals?
Well, another really fun one is that the kids love is the butt sniffer. So it's a taper.
Oh, this is family Christian radio.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, stay off people's bumpers.
Right.
So that we don't have to say those things about you in the back and looking at you in the rearview mirror.
So is that a jungle animal?
A taper is, but it's funner
a
for the
taper?
Kids. Yeah, a taper. Like I think long snouted.
Oh,
yeah.
like an anteater
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's an animal that follows too closely with
Correct.
a long nose.
Yeah.
Okay, and what are we teaching the kids these days about if someone's sniffing the rear bumper?
Sniffing the rear bumper.
Are we supposed to hit the accelerator? What are we doing?
Honestly, so it really depends on the situation that you're in. So if we're in traffic, right, probably just take our foot off the accelerator and increase our following distance in front of us. Mm-hmm. So if we need to react to the vehicle in front of us, we give the vehicle behind us that doesn't have the time to react that much more time in order to not hit us. We don't hit and then, push us into the vehicle in front.
Sure.
And things of that nature.
Okay, so we have the crocodile, we have the taper. Are like all of the animals like long-nosed?
No, I mean, a
Like,
hyena's got a little nose.
Is it going to be like an elephant next?
There is an elephant.
Oh,
and then there's a bull elephant. So like that doesn't help my case. But then a hyena doesn't have a long nose.
Okay,
so.
well, let's continue with the long noses.
Okay,
what's an elephant do?
An elephant is it's more of a vehicle type. So it's the big pickup trucks, box trucks. They're big. They're the bigger animals on the road. You need to respect that space.
Right.
Then you have the bull elephants, which are semi trucks.
Okay.
They're king of the jungle.
Yeah.
They don't. You matter not to them. So. it's important to give them the respect that they deserve.
Yeah, and I was I met a young man in El Paso, and he was telling me he got his CDL, and ever since he told me that, I've respected the distance around semis so much. And he was telling me it was terrifying driving. I don't know like his story. I don't know any of that, but he was like, it's raining. He had to get reach a certain destination at a certain time. He's on a tight schedule. He can't see anything, and he's blowing down the interstate at a high rate of speed. And ever since he told me that story, this great young man, I have really respected the bull elephants in a way.
One of the things that I've heard them describe that as is like extremely long periods of boredom punctuated by moments of terror.
Yeah.
So, you're bored, and then now you feel for your life, and then you're right back to being bored again.
Right. Exactly. So the bull elephants, the elephant is just like the F-350 Super Duty.
Your Penske trucks, your
right.
big box trucks, things like that. Nature.
Yeah. Well, the Penske and the U-Hauls also, I got the 26-foot U-Haul, and I'm like, you're going to let me drive this away? So
sure.
There's a lot of people out there who shouldn't be driving whatever they're driving.
I completely agree.
So you're teaching through this. So we have the crocodile, we have the tapir, we have the elephant and the bull elephant. Any other long nose?
I can't think of any other long noses right off the top of my head.
Not long.
I mean, I guess we got a parrot.
Okay.
Is it toucan? Toucan's a parrot, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if it's a long nose. But
Okay.
it's a big
Okay.
beak.
I want to guess what the toucan is.
All right.
It's someone who is texting and talking on their phone.
It's talking on their phone. You're 100% correct. Yeah, they're parrots. They're squawking on the phone.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So what do we do around the toucan?
It's a lot of what we're teaching kids is to create space, right? And I had one younger gentleman explain. He's like, my dad told me I need to react fast to situations. I was like, that is true, but let's also slow down so we have more time to react. Right? So the people on their phones, or you notice that little swerve or whatever, you don't need to pass them, right? You might be hanging back a little bit further than maybe you even think you'd normally do that, because what if they hit a telephone pole or another car or whatever? We're giving ourselves space in order to react appropriately.
So we're not supposed to pull up next to them and like honk our horn and like motion for them to sit down the phone.
Yeah, you're not. You don't need to correct other people's driving. You just need to make sure that you're safe.
Oh, this is big news.
Yeah.
That would have been helpful to have learned.
You're like, I was actually laying on the horn just coming over here right now. It's just letting other people know that I was displeased at their driving.
Right. That's hilarious. All right. So jungle driving school. What's the deal these days? How old do you have to be to get started?
So you have to be, in the state of Texas, you have to be 14 years old in order to start the classroom portion.
14?
14. And then...
Do you have to be like old enough to see over the steering wheel?
Well, the classroom portion, you got to be old enough to see the PowerPoint, I suppose. So,
is it just classroom?
It's just the classroom.
Okay.
You cannot get your learner's permit, which allows you to do behind the wheel training until you're 15.
Okay, so you can actually start in the classroom at 14.
Correct.
Okay, and then you can start driving with an instructor at 15.
Correct.
And then you have the learner's permit till you're 16?
Well, you have to have the learner's permit for at least 6 months. So if you start anywhere beyond 15 and a half, you're not going to get your license when you're 16. So...
Oh, before. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, you have to start before then. But but we're highly recommend for parents to get their kids their learner's permit right when they turn 15, because the more time that they have with you in the car, the better off they're going to be.
Okay, and then how many hours do they spend with the fine folks at Jungle Driving School behind the wheel?
Behind the wheel, it's 7 hours of behind the wheel training and 7 hours of observation. So they have to observe another student receiving instruction. So sit in the back seat and watch that instruction occur, and they have to drive for 7 hours with an instructor.
Oh, okay.
Then you have to do an additional 30 hours with your parents or guardians, so that way before it's
Yeah.
44 total hours.
Yeah, the 30 hours was killer with my kids because I had kind of 2 in a row, and it seemed like a lot. But that has to be. Could I have outsourced all 30 of those hours?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they just have to be completed by either a certified driving instructor or parent or guardian. So.
Gotcha. If you're just joining us, we're with Richie Hatch of Jungle Driving School here in El Paso. We have a lot more to talk about, but at the moment we have Charlie One on the phone. Charlie One, what are you seeing out on the roads this afternoon?
And a couple of rough spots, right? I want to go first central area on the freeway because that's where we have a lot of stop and go. Really, bumper-to-bumper traffic here. I'm talking about I-10 East, Piedras, Copia area, the ramp that goes up to US 54 North and Juarez. So that area right there under a lot of traffic right now, slow moving. And then the other place is, of course, that project that goes on every afternoon and tying things up. I'm talking about I-10 eastbound lanes that what they do at Artcraft, they take away the left lane, and that backs up the traffic to Trade Center. So we've got still that afternoon traffic moving along in single file, slow, I-10 East Trade Center all the way down to Artcraft, so keep that in mind. Plus, let's go to Fort Bliss, Spur 601 West and Chaffee collision, right 2 lanes blocked, congestion there, of course, Spur 601 West at Chaffee. Also in this one, the Northeast, Gateway South at Sean Haggerty on a crash. That one appears to be without injury, but still, there's going to be some tow truck activity there. Gateway South at Sean Haggerty. And Andy, back to you.
Charlie One, this afternoon we have Richie Hatch with us. He's the head honcho over at a new driving school over on the west side of El Paso. It's called Jungle Driving School. You've been watching the roads for a long time. What is one thing, Charlie One, that you'd like to see all drivers in El Paso learn?
Well, what I'd like for them to do?
Learn.
Well, there's 2 things here.
Okay.
Pack your patience because they are not. You got drivers that are certainly not patient. The other thing is don't be in a hurry. There's too much hurry up driving right now and getting in front of.
Yes.
If you one of the driving rules to do and that courtesy is leave some space between you and the car in front. Well, when you do that, somebody just races in there in between. It's always a rush and trying to get ahead and trying to race up to that red light and patience, changing of lanes. I see that as a big culprit right now. They'll race up in front of you, make that right turn when they could have waited and just made the right turn in back of you. And just impatience. That's the one thing I'd like for them to learn. But I don't know if we can learn that or if it's, I don't know. That's kind of a tough one to teach patience to somebody.
Right. Yeah, it's a virtue, and it's something that comes from the heart. Charlie One, I know a lot of parents are more than happy to outsource for other people to drive their kids, to drive around with their kids as their kids are learning. And it's because it's a lot more relaxing to have someone else instruct your kids how to drive. Another thing that's really relaxing is to try a bowl of the Breakfast of Champions here in the Borderland. Where would you recommend that our listeners find that bowl of menudo?
They're really going to enjoy that they can pick it up and then eat it at their own choice, at their own leisure. They can pick it up. It's homemade menudo, and it's packaged up right there, but it's homemade and fresh. Eastside Choice Meats, Lumaland and Trevo, they're going to pick up that container, put it in the fridge, and then just whenever they want to, just heat it up in the microwave or in the stove or something. But at your own leisure, you can just enjoy that menudo. It's best at breakfast, but it's called the Breakfast of Champions. But they can eat it any time they want to, and that's going to just really sit well with them and maybe calm them down a little bit. You know, and just calm the beast down. Okay, Andy.
Thank you, Charlie One. We'll talk soon. And we're back with Richie Hatch of Jungle Driving School. So we've let's see what I've remembered. The tapir, the crocodile, the elephant, the bull elephant, the toucan. We're learning all the animals of the jungle that we see on the road. It would be interesting for Jungle Driving School to do like some desert animals.
You know, I don't think that's I mean, what do we throw in the tortoise instead of the sloth? You know what I'm saying? And they have to be in the left lane.
Especially in front of Bassett Place.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know
this
what
is
it is.
Obviously where I belong.
Yeah.
You know, at 55 miles an hour. 45 sometimes.
All right. So when you're driving around with students, I hope, you know, like everyone who comes on this program says El Paso is like the friendliest city in the nation, things like that. Is that something you experience when you're riding around with a student driver?
I'll tell you what, having student driver written across the back of your car induces rage amongst the populace. So that might be the friendliest drivers ever to everyone else, but you'd be surprised at there's a big sign on the back that says, "We don't know, we're trying to figure out what we're doing here." And there is no grace.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like what you're saying is, as soon as someone sees student driver, you're almost like a target.
Mm-hmm.
Any idea? Have there been any studies on the psychology behind this particular phenomenon?
I'm not aware of any studies, but I think that actually should be a major source of college funding in the near future. Let's make that happen, folks. UTEP.
That would be our tax dollars at work.
Correct. Let's get some grants.
That's hilarious. All right, so we have the toucans. Those are people in the jungle who are talking on their phones. Hyena. Let's talk hyena.
So hyenas are your road ragers.
Okay.
Right? They think that they're good drivers. And they're actually mad about everything, like the tapers and the parrots and the sidewinders are folks that go in and out of traffic, right? They're mad at
You're running
else.
ahead of us with these.
Sorry. Let's pretend I didn't say
animals.
that one. That's right.
Yeah.
But they experience it. And when they see that, the driving that they exude in other people makes them very angry.
Right. Yeah, it's especially if they see student driver written on their car.
Man, it's just like eyes go red. It's like a cartoon,
right?
You know.
And when you're learning how to train young people, how do you stay calm as an instructor? Because with my kids, I'm in the passenger seat, I'm stomping on the floor. Concerned, wanting to grab the steering wheel. I don't think I ever did that, but wanting to the entire time. How do you maintain this aura of patience?
I think it's a lot easier to teach people that you don't have necessarily a personal relationship with. In the self-defense world as well, we did the same thing where, people would come in and it's not your mom saying, "Hey, you need to pay attention to how you're braking." It's the mother that took away your cell phone yesterday. And so it doesn't matter if it's good, if it's good information. It's all these other things and factors.
There's not all that other baggage, I guess.
Yeah. And so it's easier for them to hear the exact same thing from me as their mom or dad and accept it versus I'm going to be angsty and angry because you took away my ability to watch YouTube.
Right. Okay. And Jungle Driving School, you're having a grand opening tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
What does a driving school grand opening look like?
Well, it's going to be a ton of fun. We've got a jungle-themed scavenger hunt. And, so we've invited a bunch of businesses from our networking groups. And they're going to come out and have booths so people can visit each of them. They're going to have a card that they can fill out and to get stamps at each location. And then go into the mall and interact with the businesses in the mall, and then bring that card to us inside the facility, and we'll enter them into a raffle. We got all kinds of fun things, Yetis, some Mario Kart posters, all kinds of neat things that are being raffled, Steam and Sephora gift cards, things of that nature.
Yeah. Okay, and are all the tickets sold out? What needs to happen?
No, just show up. It's the shops at Solana, which is at Southern Park. On Southern Park Drive, and the event is...
Okay, so hold on. I feel like we could talk for an hour of why it's called the Shops at Solana now, but you're at the mall formerly known as Sunland Park?
The mall formerly known as Sunland Park.
You're there in the mall?
Correct. Go in the food court entrance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. Like the driving... practice doesn't take in, it's outside the mall.
No, I mean, sometimes we like to bring the car inside and see if we can't get the fellow patrons. And no, of course, everything takes place outside.
Okay, gotcha. So show up tomorrow, what time?
1 to 4.
1 to 4. Okay, at the, I just can't call it the Shops at Solana. I cannot bring myself to do this.
What if it was the Shoppus? Because it's got the E in there. The Shoppus at Solana? Is that...
It's like, let's come up with the most pretentious name.
I mean, listen, I like to drink my tea with my pinky out, okay?
All right, so 1 to 4 tomorrow. That's super cool. We need to take a break, but we just got a question from the KELP radio app. This listener says their name is T-Dog. What should someone do if someone they love, such as their spouse, is a hyena?
Well, we need to love them and encourage them and let them know that they are the example to your two boys. Yeah. So those boys are gonna do what you show them to do.
Right. That's such a great answer. I love it. I feel like that was tailor-made for someone specifically. But that is a good reminder that our kids are watching and emulating what we do. We need to go into a break. This is the part of the program where KELP Radio would like to thank all of its impact partners. These are local businesses, nonprofits, educational institutions that have joined us in our journey to serve our community through radio ministry. The impact partner I'm going to point out today is Sun City Calvary Chapel. They're over on El Paso's west side, and the program Summons with Pastor Terry Gray of Sun City Calvary Chapel follows this program each and every weekday afternoon. I do hope that you stay tuned in. Also, I'm going to toot my own horn. Yeah, I'm going to be preaching at Sun City Calvary Chapel this Sunday, 9 and 11 a.m. You can find the link to Sun City Calvary Chapel and all our other impact partners by going to kelpradio.com. Just scroll down to that impact partner section. If you manage or own a business in El Paso and are interested in what it means to become an impact partner, just reach out to us through the website or give us a call, 915-779-0016. We'd love to walk you through what that entails. We're going to go into a break. Do not touch that dial.
We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
Greetings, KELP listeners. My name is Terry Gray, and I have the joy and privilege of serving as the pastor of Calvary Chapel Sun City, located on the west side of El Paso. I also have the joy of connecting with the radio audience in the borderland through the Summons broadcast heard each weekday at 5 p.m. right here on this station. On Summons, we study the Bible book by book, chapter by chapter, verse by verse, precept by precept. Please join us each weekday at 5 p.m. for Summons right here on KELP. Greetings, KELP listeners. This is Terry Gray, pastor of Calvary Chapel, Sun City, and speaker on the Summons broadcast heard each weekday at 5 p.m. right here on this station. Calvary Chapel, Sun City is located at 960 West Borderland Road on the west side of El Paso. We hold services on Wednesday evenings at 7 and on Sunday mornings at 9 and 11. If you are without a church home, we would love to have you join us for worship and Bible study. You can find out more information about us on the web at www.ccsuncity.org.
We're back. You're listening to 915 Talk.
We are back, and you are listening to 915 Talk. I'm your host, Andy Frecka. Today we're with Richie Hatch of Jungle Driving School here in El Paso. Richie, we've been going through all these animals. How many animals are there?
Oh, there must be, I don't know, currently named, I'd say 8 to 10.
8 to 10,
yeah.
Okay. All right, we're just going to do one more animal.
Okay.
The Sidewinder.
All right.
Tell me about the Sidewinder.
They're the drivers that are in and out of traffic, winding like a snake through traffic, not using their blinkers.
Oh, I feel like that's a different name for BMW drivers.
That's so funny. Yeah, their turn signals don't work. Like they come, like that's something you have to, it's an add-on.
Yeah. Well, when I lived overseas, there was kind of this joke there. They sold their brains and bought a Rolls Royce.
That's funny.
Since I have a expensive car, I could drive however I want,
100%.
Okay, so we've talked about all these animals. Tell me how you spent your day today.
So we were out and engaging with the local high schools to try and get the message of, I like to say we're teaching teens to tame the concrete jungle, but really the mission of jungle driving school is, saving teen lives. So partnering with the high schools to that end is incredibly important. And I remember when I was in high school, they actually mocked up a crash, and it was like your fellow students out there laying on the ground, mutilated, because they put a bunch of makeup on them and stuff like that. And I think it's important to know that actions do have consequences, and they can be very long-lasting.
So what are those interactions like with the high schoolers? Are they interested? Is it just kind of a surface level kind of conversation? What's that like?
With the high schoolers or the high schools?
Yes. Okay,
fair enough. So with the high schoolers, the very first thing that they notice is how cool the car is. Okay. Right. People come up and like, look, I don't even their parents are like, I don't even need to go to driving school, but I want to drive that car. Right. So it's a lot of fun, looks good, engages them quickly. And then we're able to really, instill the knowledge that they need to navigate the jungle. Right. And then with the earlier today, one of the counselors at the high school was like tears in her eyes, like you've made my weekend by coming in. And she really has a heart for the underprivileged. And so, talking about in the future, setting up something where we can get out scholarships to those kids and things of that nature, because, they need to learn how to drive and fulfill the requirements to get a license, but maybe they don't have the ability to pay for it.
Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah, and I know when it comes to safety on the roads, I was at a law enforcement event where they were talking just about distracted driving, all those things. Excuse me, but we all need to take our part in this. Love what you're doing at Jungle Driving with that. Wow, so much to talk through. Remind us again of the phone number at Jungle Driving.
It's 915-900-4943.
900?
4943.
4943. Okay. And tomorrow at the shops at Solana.
Correct. We're having a grand opening from 1 to 4 p.m.
AKA
the former Sunland Park Mall.
Yeah, the mall formerly known as Sunland Park.
Correct.
1 to 4 p.m. Kind of close to the food court.
Yeah, if you look for us near the food court entrance, that's where the school is just beyond the food court, but we'll be outside of what was formerly known as Forever 21.
Okay. It was only temporarily 21.
Yeah, and now it's moved on.
All right, so 7 hours driving with you, 7 hours observing another student driver, 30 hours with the parents. How many hours in the classroom?
24.
Okay, 24. And do you do like the scary videos like when I was a kid of the crash up cars?
I wouldn't call them scary, but we are showing the kids what's called the BAM cam. Okay. And it's a bunch of dash cam footage of, folks that turn left without paying attention, or they're on their phone or hydroplane or whatever. And nothing's particularly gruesome, but it is a good cautionary tale in the sense of like, these are things that are, if you're not paying attention, they're going to happen to you.
Right. I don't know why I want to tell you this story, but when I was going through driving school 30 plus years ago in Ohio, I had to drive for 8 hours with my instructor, and she had me drive her to this other town, and then she like went and hung out with her friends in a house and came out 2 hours later, and they counted that towards the hours. We've passed our statute of limitations on this. I can share this story. That's probably not a good way to run a driving school, right, Richie Hatch of Jungle Driving?
Absolutely not. It's and actually we've heard all kinds of horror stories, but it's usually like, back in the day when we were learning how to drive and stuff like that, it's like I've heard crazy stories about, my instructor just took me on all of his errands. Like we ran all of his errands while I was driving. And no, we are 100% committed to making sure that a lot of people can fulfill the requirements. Like you can check a box and say you did 7 hours, but we really want to make sure that we're progressing kids through a curriculum that makes them safer drivers in all conditions.
Right.
So we want to build on things, residential driving first, then light traffic, then heavy traffic, then highway traffic. And,
sure.
We're not going to just tick the box.
Right. And again, a reminder to our listeners out there, most of our listeners are like church-going, God-fearing kind of folk. If you see a student driver out there, be patient, be kind, give them plenty of space. Don't lean on the horn. It's really, I mean, like you're talking about going to high schools, it's really part of building a better community.
Absolutely.
All right, and you had this gym before. Can we talk about that real quick?
Absolutely.
Yeah, tell me about the gym.
Well, we taught a system called Krav Maga, which is an Israeli self-defense system. A lot of it's teaching people how to fight dirty.
Okay.
And really what it came down to is allowing people to know that, like, you know, we did deal with a lot of like sexual assault survivors and things of that nature. And, you know, one thing you can never do is change the past. And so, and at the end of the day, you get to, the choice is what matters the most, right? So if something's happening, just like in driving, right, knowing that you have a vote, it might not be the one that wins, but knowing that you have a vote is something that is really empowering for people.
Yeah.
So you have a choice to make.
Okay. And when you look at El Paso, your hometown, and just business, and if you could like just snap your fingers and maybe improve one thing, it doesn't have to be the most important thing. What would come to mind?
As far as improving business?
Yeah.
I would say that for all the business owners out there, it's not a zero-sum game, right? You're not capturing 100% of any market, and there's plenty of room for us to collaborate and make each other better, and I think we can do that.
Okay.
So.
All right. Kenny on the board, I think we need to do a special part of the program for my good friend, Richie Hatch. Richie, this is, we do this sometimes for first-time guests. It's rapid fire questions, and we are Christian radio, so we do believe in right or wrong answers.
Okay.
But also, since we're Christian radio, if you give a wrong answer, we won't be judgmental, or at least we'll try not to be judgmental.
You gonna extend me some grace?
Yeah, we'll try.
Thank you.
Yeah. So without further ado, Kenny on the board, cue up the lightning round. Okay, first question, Richie Hatch of Jungle Driving School. It's a question you're asked very often in El Paso when you go out to eat. It's a culinary question. The question is, red or green?
Green.
That is correct.
Good.
All right. Where's your favorite place to answer that question?
You know, there's so many good places. I really enjoy, I think it really comes down to the queso. So, you know, that's the first thing.
It comes down to the queso.
It sets the tone
I feel like
for the
this
whole
is
meal.
a quote from Richie Hatch.
Yeah, it comes down to the queso.
It comes down.
Leo's is great.
Leo's.
Yeah,
okay.
I love Leo's.
That's a pretty good one. Okay. And let's say you had someone come to visit you in El Paso. They'd never been here before, sadly. And you really want to impress them with your hometown of El Paso. So you don't put them up in a Motel 6. You put them, you know, like you normally would. You find them a nice place. And where would you take them to impress them with El Paso that's not a restaurant?
Scenic Drive.
That is correct. Yeah. At the beginning of this program, we say in the intro, the world is looking at El Paso. What will we say to the world? And the reason for that is when I moved here, I noticed that very often when something happens on the border, a national correspondent will fly in from New York, Chicago, I don't know, from one of those fancy cities, come here. They've been here for about 45 minutes, and they begin to tell the world what's happening in El Paso. We need to tell the world what's happening here. What is one thing you would want the world to know about El Paso?
Well, you know, I guess if it bleeds, it leads. And so you'll only hear bad things outside of here, but it is a phenomenal community that is cross-cultural. I mean, we have two cities here, three, you know, with Las Cruces as well. And it's a truly unique experience, and it's not what people would, the sensationalized things that people hear.
Right. Yeah. And we also have the ability with the latest technology to defend ourselves against party balloons.
You know, if you are scared of balloons, we got you. Shut down the airspace for 10 days.
All right. So we're going to get into a little bit of El Paso trivia. The plaza downtown. Do you go downtown much?
I don't that much. No,
not much.
No.
Okay, you should get down there.
Okay,
it's good fun. What is the theme of the plaza?
The alligators.
That is correct. It's like the crocodile.
Like a crocodile.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know why that's the theme?
Yeah, they actually used to have live alligators downtown,
right?
And they had to get rid of them because people would feed them trash.
That is correct. Yes, and this is one that very few people get right, so it's okay. There is no longer any live alligators at the San Jacinto Plaza. There is, however, an alligator sculpture. How many alligators are on that sculpture?
3.
You're pretty close, but no, 4. Yeah. So, and when you look at El Paso, if you could pray one prayer for the city, what would that prayer be?
Well, I think that again, the thoughts that people can reach beyond their grasp, and I think that's important. We have a phenomenal community here, phenomenal opportunities, and you're not beholden to anything. And I think that the prayer would be that people realize that, and really reach for their full potential.
Love it. Okay, so let's give the quick recap. We've been talking with Richie Hatch, Jungle Driving School, grand opening tomorrow at the Shops of Solana, the mall formerly known as Sunland Park, by the temporary 21.
That it used to be Forever,
yeah,
and now it's formerly
known
21.
as formerly 21.
Yeah. It's kind of like all of us,
right? In that, right in that section. It's going to be a lot of fun. Scavenger hunt. What else?
We're gonna have raffles, door prizes, and a lot of good information. And we're gonna have the El Paso Police Department's going to be out there as well, answering questions and playing some games and stuff.
Yeah, that's so great. And as we have this program, it's again a reminder that there are so many good people doing important things in so many different ways, and that's what makes for a great community. And driving school is a big part of that. And so excited about Jungle Driving School. And you think there's a lot of kids who are going to need to learn how to drive?
Yeah, we've had a phenomenal response, and they're coming out the woodwork. So hopefully we're able to really make an impact on what we're seeing with teens and driving.
Okay, love it. And just again, a reminder of your phone number.
Our phone number is 915-900-4943.
Love it. Thanks again for coming in today, Richie. Truly enjoyed the conversation.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, as we always say, let's learn to love our city, love our neighbors. I'm going to add today, let's learn to love student drivers and be patient with them and give God all the glory. This has been 915 Talk. You have been listening to 915 Talk, a production of Desert Voice Media. To listen to this or any previous edition of 915 Talk, just visit desertvoice.media and click on the 915 Talk link. Let's continue to learn to love our city, love our neighbors, and give God all the glory.
Hi, I'm Johnny